We're here on another game in the Colosseum event. I'm rocking it solo. The beef has felt the call, the bloodlust, the joy and the violence. That's what he's doing. He's killing people. Instead of casting, we're on Bulwark, as you can see here. Very weird map. Got a ton of cover in the middle. Couple points. Each team has a natural, and then there's 3 points in the middle, split up by a ton of cover. Kerbal Sam, Chaos, Internet Explorer, and Forlorn Soul in Team 1. They're in voice chat. And they're Anus. Yeah, Grenade, Mineris, Dramus, and Beef on Team 2. OSP, also in voice chat. I keep mousing over the Discord, but you can't see that window. It's pointing things, so I don't know why I'm doing that. Chaos in a battleship. Alright. I'm ready. He's cranking. That mad stank. Beam, stone walls. Beam, stone walls. It's kind of hit a couple defenders. Extra intent on the bottom. Very nice. And he's got an offset Sarissa as well. Good for handling containers. Lord Soul and Beam Trio. The gun on each, but mostly point defense. Also a blanket on each. A pair of scouts. One with a hang up on it. Neat. And an explorer rocking the Frig Blob again. 2 PD E-War ships, blankets and bullseyes, and then just a ridiculous amount of Mark 62 guns on all the others. Look at this. 8 barrels, 120. It's crazy. It's crazy. Couple Sam bringing the double Axford again. 250s. 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 Instead of the 450s. And bullseye and pretty decent point defense. Beef in a monitor team. He's been talking about this. He's been saying he wanted to bring this team out. Okay, so we got 100 mil. 100 mil plasma. 100 mil. 100 mil. 100 mil plasma. Oh man, does he have enough plasma? I don't think he has enough plasma. We're gonna see. I don't know, 100 mil can do some work on its own. Especially, oh my god, if this fleet runs into the Frig Blob, it'll tear them apart because Mark 62s won't have enough punch to deal with the monitors. Grenade, bring in. Aha. This is why Grenade was asking about my missiles in the lobby. He was making his own version of this fleet. Very nice, very nice. I like it. I'm glad to see it. Pretty simple fleet. The complexity is in the missiles. He's a red actives. I'm assuming he's going to be using the same thing. We'll see. Dramus. Of course, how you use it, and it's important to use cruise as well. By the way, with your missiles. I don't think direct volleys are all that good, honestly. I know some people have got some efficacy with the S2 spam, but it just doesn't cut it. You gotta use cruise to get that advantage, get that angling advantage on your opponent. Because the directs just don't allow for it. Anyways, that is neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later. I'm a missile addict, so I talk about missiles a lot, even though there's so much else going on the map. Dramus with 2 Ocellos. Focus up, my brother. What are you doing? A couple Sarissas, some Bastions, Bullseye, just one Bullseye, and then a EWR tug. Yep, that's a point defense. An Eris with pair of mass drivers. A lot of point defense, and then a Bloodhound EWR. Nice, not bad. I don't think match drivers are it on this match, but it might actually work out against the Frig Blob and the Destroyers. Like, these could be very effective against this little half of the ANS team. Very nice.
The enemy is securing zone Boxer. The enemy is securing zone
OSP managed to secure just the teensiest, tiniest of score leads, but ANS is going to be able to get the cap lead. Alright, here's Grenade rocking the missile spam. Revenge of the Feeder.
Enemy secured zone combat.
A little hard on those. I hope these have the range. Bulwark's a pretty small map. So these will probably have the range. Ooh, but he might have put a little too much crank on him. No, they see it. They see it. Oh, not out of range. Da da da. Yep.
Enemy secured zone boxer.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I did that quite a few times, getting used to this MLS build, because they got significantly less range than hybrids do.
The enemy secured zone atlas.
And the question is, do I tell him, hey, if you perform well... Oh. No fucking way, dude. I would be pissed if I was that guy. Just so happens to get hit by one single missile and it kills the CIC. Unbelievable. What are the chances? Yeah, Reinforce doesn't do shit if you don't have any damage control teams, by the way. That doesn't help. I mean, I guess the DT helps a little bit, but these missiles won't do anything. This is this Bulwark Souls. Yeah, so bring damage control. If you're gonna bring a Reinforce. Meanwhile, ANS taking the lead on the score. Of course, ahead on caps, and I think they're going to keep that lead for a while. He doesn't know that it's dead. Well, I mean, how could he? He had one land? You got to be like, nah, no way. But yeah, it's podding and everything. Are these just ARAD? Oh my god. You really need ARAD, ACTRAD, dude. I swear to god, if he's gone pure ARAD, I'm gonna lose my mind. That's what that looks like. That's the only way that would mess that. You gotta have that secondary seeker, otherwise people can just turn off the radar. And against these players, that's gonna happen. I think Bulwark Souls is about the only person on this team who isn't gonna be on that radar be getting turned off. I'm the only person in this game. He's a good player. He's been around. He's been doing stuff. He's been learning a lot. But he's relatively new. He doesn't have as many games under his belt as some of the other people. So he's not going to quite have the micro speed. And Explorer poking his nose up here. Grenade's being a little too aggressive with these missiles. He's going to run out of them a lot faster than he thinks. He's already used a third of his volume. And has killed a sprinter. It's not a good ratio. It's not what we in the biz call efficient. Looks like he's heading after Kerbal Sam's fleet. That's also unfortunate because this team has enough RPF, or this team has enough RPF, and these guys have enough. The other R1 rebound. Sheesh. That these are gonna get dealt with. Say that. Yeah, there they go. You gotta be a lot more conservative with the missiles, Haas. I think Beef wants to, yeah, Beef singling on Delta over here. Frigblob versus Frigblob. Well, never mind. We know who wins this. Those 120s just don't have the punch through to deal with monitors. Oh, that's a tug. Meanwhile, the 100 mils absolutely have the punch through to deal with rains. And they have an absurd fire rate as well. Although, if he runs into that beamed battleship, oh man, this could be a phenomenal trap here laid by the ANS team around this beam battleship and these 3 beam destroyers. I'm glad to see it. Glad to see the teamwork leading to things like this. It's something a lot of people don't realize is the OSP is not the only ambush faction. A&S can absolutely ambush people. It's just strategy and tactics. OSP's just a little better at it because they're faster. I think B smells that something's up. Are any of these ships on radar? No, no, no. It's just this rains. Where are these going? Is he gonna try to get in over the top of these rains? I hope he's not going to the same target. Beast's back to putting on the gas, heading over there to kill that frig blob. And he's just gonna miss. That way. Oh, one branch is off. There's two. They're gonna be handled quite easily with the old BSG flak. Alright, Chaos has revealed himself. Maybe. No, he hasn't been seen yet. He's moved up. He's patient, though. He's patient, though. Beef is going to be in for a very large surprise. Just all it's seen out of this team is the Frig Blob on Delta, and then this Frig Blob over here. PWR coming over here to cap Alpha. It's good for the OSP. They need that. Need to retake that advantage. Dash driver volley coming out. Miss. Oh, it looks like he got hit by another one earlier. I cannot wait for this fucking beam surprise. I really, really want to see it, dude. I want to see it so bad. You have no idea. It's so great to see A&S players. Oh, the missiles might give it away, though. Yeah, because the missiles are going to fly over these, and they'll see the point defense come out of them. Even if they don't see the actual ships, they'll see that point defense. Oh, man, I want to be in that team jet right now. Yeah, only a couple peeling off to the frigate team. There's no way those get through. No way. Yeah, they realize the jig is up. They got to push. And Beef also, yeah, throws on the brakes, heads into reverse. Good work. Yeah, normally I would like to drop down and listen to all the team chats, but with these being more serious matches, I don't want to be a disruptor. I don't want to be like, oh, Greg's listening. No. You know, do your own thing, do your planning, do your reactions. It's fine. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the screen. Opening up on these destroyers. Oh, man, which are taking a lot of damage. Look at that. Now, these being this might be the wrong answer here. Oh, your trap gets seen. We have to spring it early now. Nah, your trap gets seen, you back off. And hope to get it out some other time. Especially since they've got the cap advantage. They don't have to push. They really don't have to push. They can just sit back and control it. But, yeah, that's going to cost, I think, this destroyer team, actually. Because these missiles are going to come over here. And the anti-missile capacity of the Deuce of Douglas isn't going to be able to kick in until these missiles are around the rock. So getting even closer to the missiles. When your trap gets discovered, sometimes you have to spring it, but a lot of times it's better to just say, "Oh well, we got anti-bamboozled," and to just set up somewhere else. Get into position somewhere else. It's really important with beams that are limited by range. See, these things can just leave. These monitors, they can just leave and shoot. They don't care. They want you to come to them. That's exactly what's happening. Yeah, Chaos realizes what's up. But they'll just be kited and killed. A little RPF going on his teammate. And I think he's managed to convince Full-on Soul to come back as well. Looks like it. But that fleet's basically dead. They're going to, I mean, they're sort of fine on paper with the restores that they've got, but with being just in sight of 100 mil, they're going to get cleaned up. What's been going on elsewhere? Not much, actually. Internet Explorer having a little standoff at Alpha, just making sure no other smaller scouts can come in. The experts participating in that as well. Just a little Overwatch on the point. Some of those over on Delta are, Charlie, rather, are kind of angling for a fight, but I think they know that that's not safe. What else is coming in? I think these are going to be going into these pretty much dead destroyers. Yeah. Oh, now that's really dead. Yeah, that's KK. Inactive decoy eating some gunfire. You don't get to see that very often, but it's pretty satisfying when it happens. Pretty funny. There we go, they're reoriented. The naughty Nancy is taking a great deal of fire. Able to dip behind Defilade. Not dead, but some damage into that drive. Might come into play later. But overall, ANS is in a real good spot. Losing that destroyer team was real unfortunate. But generally speaking, they're pretty well off. They're ahead 120 points. Close to 130, really. And will be that before too long. Yeah, just 2 more ticks. How's this thing's drive coming back online? I have a feeling that's not gonna last very long. Yeah, there it goes. What are these beams aimed at? Oh, I think he's aiming at the Ocellos. He's gonna flip around here and put it. Those are my demon noises. I hope you enjoyed. I'm the backup sound technician for this game, as you can tell by my sound effects. I do mouth noises. It's not real, by the way. Don't anybody think that. I have no power or value in anything related to this game. In fact, I think the only thing I've contributed is to make a balanced discussion slightly worse by asking for a 2-minute slow mode instead of a 5-minute, and that getting reverted in like a week. So my primary contribution to Nebulous is making the Discord worse for like a week. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. Oh, man. That's too funny. 450s on the top and 250s on the bottom. I still don't know about this. Yeah, those 100 mils don't cut it against the Cellos. That's actually the one thing... Man, I guess it's not the one thing. Generally, most of this fleet's going to be pretty robust against the Frig Blob, which is nice. He just needs to keep his angling good. Keep microing your angling. More missiles not which don't have enough range, or getting RPF down? Yeah, they're getting RPF. Flying in open space for too long. How many missiles grenades got? 0 and 4. Oh dear. And I'm pretty sure he's killed a frigate and finished off 2 destroyers that were basically dead anyways. Oh, I'm gonna have to harass him about that later. Yeah, we're gonna bully him in the AR. And Grenade gets to laugh at me when all my missiles fail against his battleship. So we're gonna laugh at him a little bit while his missiles fail. And these 100 mils just not cutting it. Although, funnily enough, the 450 is performing poorly in turn against the Reigns. They're too fast, they're too small, and I think even HE is gonna just punch through. Well, maybe not. That was an impact on the surface. There's some punch throughs. Yeah, look at that low volume of damage. He's attacking the right ship. Your defense range. But there is simply... 450 is not the right tool for the job. Neither team has the right tool for the job. You really don't want to be shooting 120 at cells, and you really don't want to be shooting 450 at range. Although these experts coming in with the 250 cannons, those are going to be quite effective to cells if they can get in echelon. No, they're hitting on the nose. So going to be less effective, but certainly more effective than the 120s. It's a lot of bullets. RPF coming over here. Ooh, RPF into a monitor. No. AP, my dude. This thing has more, for those of you who don't know, even though this is a very small ship, it's got really dense armor. It's got more armor than an Ocello. It's the OSP stinky ship by far. At least raw numbers wise. Ocellos often end up more survivable if they're played correctly. You know, so something that I was noticing when I first started this channel was everybody pointing their ass towards their opponent in the Ocello. And I'm real happy to say, I don't know if I contributed to this at all, but I hope I did. I'm real happy to say that most people are bow tanking with their Ocellos now. They're keeping their nose to target. It's something I figured out before I even knew that bow tanking was a phrase or a common thing that people did. That you just need to have your nose to target to get advantage of the armor angles. As we're seeing here, so many deflections in that ball. It's so much more powerful than getting shot, especially when you've got the sight on. The Ocello has such a dump truck ass that it just, I swear, it's like a big magnet which drags bullets directly into it. Oh, Speed finally getting on Alpha. They're behind 200 points though. 1 point lead, 1 cap lead is not going to be enough. Beef staying way away from where the trap was laid, the beam trap. It's a good call. Just let those beams should sit and stew. Cell's getting pushed by the Axfords and the Sprinters. I guess the 120 will add up if you fire enough AP at your target. You'll open enough holes. Machines start doing damage. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I feel like we've been listening to the same song for a million years. Oh yeah, that's because it's the extended. Wink. Next. Sorry. For those of you who retired that. I enjoy that song. I really need to redo this playlist though, because the extended versions of songs are mixed in with the normal versions. Just less than great. And it's fine for me listening, but it's not so great for broadcasting. Just in general, I need to work on the broadcasting playlists. That's a me problem, though. Ow. This monitor getting completely skunked with the 250s on the side. 5 restores still, so get some stuff back alive and get on the road. But not if those experts keep shooting at it. Even the scout sprinter with the stupid single barrel of 120 millimeter is getting in on this fight. It's going to do next to nothing against an Ocello, even over a long period of time. But it adds. It adds. And that's what they need. They need the extra oomph. Now, okay, good. Kerbal sees it. He's been distracted by this for a really long time, which has allowed the OSP to come in here and cap Alpha uncontested, but both Internet Explorer and Kerbal Sam are heading over here to clean up Grenade's little missile ship and maybe recap Alpha. Which is all they need. Oh, man. Especially if this team hits and caps Charlie. While, yeah, there's nothing definitive. The Ocellos are fighting, but they're not exerting control over that point. Not against the, not against the Reigns. Not with those 450 barrels, they aren't. Sprinter's an even worse target for those big barrels than the Reigns. Okay, switches. So these Reigns are opening themselves up to mass driver fire. Yeah, but it's... Ooh, but these are facing the wrong way. That's really not good. Bulwark is certainly not a map for mass drivers. You can use them, but you have to be mobile with them. You can't just chill in the back. You gotta push with your team. And you also have to have your stuff rotated the correct direction. See, this is gonna take a ton of damage from those 120 mils before it's doing much of note. Look at that. A lot of damage. Ton of counterfire though. Those 100 mils getting in range, and with those plasma and 100 mils going into these, oh man, these Reigns are getting torn to shreds. This is what I've been waiting to see. Is this fleet come into contact with this fleet? And it is. It's going about how I expected. Yeah, this is going about how I expected. Doesn't even finish a volley before switching to another target. Unbelievable. Gets like halfway through and then and then switches targets because that's how much damage the 100 mil does against the Reigns. Fucking crazy. Is it HEHC? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at it go. Seems like what the OSP needs. I think it's too little too late, though. They're winning militarily, no doubt. But they're going to need to cap Charlie. And they're also going to need to cap either Delta or Bravo. They're probably going to need to cap all points at this point. Because they're 200 points behind. And it's 190 points away from the end of the game, which is really not that long when you think about it. Oh no, ANS team capping Alpha. And there's just nothing here to contest that. I think that might be the game. It ain't over till it's over. But ANS, they're going to be hard to beat at this point. They're going to be real hard to beat at this point. Because that alpha cap means OSP is still going to be behind. They might even be able to fly some of these rains over to Echo and cap it, since there's just nothing contesting this backside of the map. And the OSP could split up and try to grab Delta and Bravo and Alpha all at the same time. But the AS team still has the 4 or 5 most dangerous ships on the map, which is 2 Axfords, which will perform really well against the monitors, a beam battleship, which will perform extremely well against the monitors, and a beam destroyer, which is currently getting killed by the monitors. so maybe just 3 ships. I don't have enough fingers for that. I only have 2 fingers. Sorry, left mouse, right mouse. That's all I got. This thing's going down like fucking heroics. Plasma getting burned through to the other side. Just completely roasting this thing inside and out. It's gonna allow the 100 mil HE to remove all the insides, as we're seeing now. The center block just completely destroyed. Drive block and the spinal mount are still alive, but I have a feeling that's not going to be for much longer. Not going to be for much longer at all. Chaos has been just out of the fight this whole game. This is unfortunate. I know he's really wanting to use this thing to good effect. It's probably why he asked Grenade to play on OSP team. The trap on Bravo didn't quite go right. Everything's been kind of downhill from there for the ANS. Well, I say that, but I've also said ANS are probably going to win. And I stand by that statement, especially now. Real rough time on Bravo, but Internet Explorer and the Free Blob doing so much work. And here's something to consider about the Bravo encounter. Even though the ANS sort of lost that, they forced the monitors to switch from one side of the map to the other, and monitors are very slow. What are these having them? They got yards. These are even slower. They're capping out normal drive, probably like 16 or 17. And then he's got flank for extra speed. They're slow. Real slow. And forcing those to go from one side of the map to the other, I mean, that's a 10-minute burn. And that's time that the ANS is just sitting back on their point advantage and just more and more and more ahead. And it's such a big deal. So this is why we do these types of matches. To try and show people more tactical, more strategic games. To demonstrate that, the damage number in the final screen isn't everything. Like, what's a good example of that? Well, what I just talked about. Also, grenades, missiles, for example. Even though they missed, and he's probably not going to do hardly any damage, they discovered that trap on Bravo, which is huge. Otherwise, Beef's team gets killed over there, and the ANS wins even harder. Because he stumbles into 3 fleets of beams. Or 2 fleets of beams and 1 fleet of gun. Which is just disaster. Instant death for the monitors. Instantly gone. They do not have the speed to get out. Good game. Good game. Very, very good game. Hit people with caps, GG. Very tactical, strategic, very position. A lot of moving around. Flying around. Out of both teams. Not that much fighting, but a lot of dancing. I like that. I like that a lot. Control and Alpha was, as usual, the core of any match. Let's take a look at this after action report. Wow, that is pain. Even his point defense didn't contribute. When I dip back in the Discord, I'll just say something like, and Captain Chaos is the MVP. And look at Beef. Look at all this damage. Just from 100 mil. And Plasma. He ain't doing so very little with those missiles. But I think he learned a lot, and that's important. Actrad primary, ARAD validated. No. ARAD primary, Actrad secondary. Trust me. Well, I'm gonna mention that too. I'm gonna go back in. Internet Explorer, definitely VP of the A&S team. Just keeping those cap controls. Line Soul, unfortunately, getting bonked by 100 mil and missiles. And then Colosseum, kind of the unsung hero. Doing a really important job on controlling ships around, controlling space near Alpha, as well as keeping the Ocellos pushed back and unable to push onto the Echo point. Maris not really able to get many shots down the field. Good positioning. Jamis getting a bad matchup versus the frigates. We've already gone over Grenade, and we've already gone over Beef. Good game, real good game. Let's dip back into the Discord here and troll a little bit.
Or how do you like my swarm versus your little swarm?
I mean, it doesn't go well, especially against cargo feeders.
Right?
Yeah, the issue is that cargo feeders have have like 40 centimeters of armor, so 120s literally just can't really pen it unless like you do what you did to me and just sit behind it and shoot it.
So you only have 3 plasma turrets on there, Beef?
4.
Is that what I'm reading?
4.
4?
4. That's all you need. You don't need to overkill with the plasma.
No, you don't. You really don't.
And that wraps up our time in the AAR. Captain Chaos, the clear MVP of this match.
Me?
My missiles
Just
sucks.
truly doing everything in this battleship.
The power of positioning.
You didn't do shit in that battleship.
Your battleship, you were disgraced to being battleship name.
No, it's funny that actually did. It's something I wanted to mention before the video goes up, whenever that may be, is that battleship actually was pretty important because it made Beef loop all the way around just by having all the destroyers and the beam battleships on that point. Beef's slow ass monitors had to fly from one side of the map to the other, and that was like 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah, I see their engines. They're all red.
I see
I
the
think
one
internet
engine.
that
I see the one place I landed on the battleship, that one single reactor that's like
Yeah, it's a Raider
fried.
drive, but yes.
Yeah, that BB scared me. I was like, I don't want to shoot a BB just yet.
Yeah, that would have been
I'll
very
eat
bad.
the DDs all day, but not the BB.
Right. Yep.
And
Good to
I
know.
believe. And so that did strategically matter. Speaking of strategy,
It also mean that I thought the beam stone was a BB, so I was firing AP into it. So, go.
Well, he died pretty fast, anyways.
Yeah.
Monitors, the cargo feeders are so fucking slow.
They are.
That was my first
They're
match
like,
using
they're
them.
like
really.
mini battleships.
Grenade, your missiles.
They sucked.
ARAD primary, active radar secondary. Give that a try.
Oh, okay. So I had it the other way around.
Yeah, you also had the ARAD as a validator instead of a secondary,
Well, I don't know.
which is I don't like validation. I'm never happy with their performance. They have a place.
They don't share homework.
They don't. They frustrate me. They're never quite good enough.
I play ANS now. I'm so tired of OSP.
Yeah. We need one more person. That's what we need, so we can get you in the spectator chair.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's been pretty good games. Anyways. And I've gotten back to my yammering roots. Speaking of yammering, I need to do an outro. That was that game. Going into another one. Game number 3 of the Colosseum event. They're not as crazy as the last one. But there's still a good time. Not having beef here kind of hurts. We were doing this. I figured we'd have enough people, but I don't know. There's just not enough folks this weekend. I don't know why. People were like super stoked and ready for another one, and I'm like, okay, here it is. I think people are busy with stuff. It happens. It just coincided that everyone got busy with something at the same time. I think it's because it's Mother's Day weekend. Might be a big part of it. It's just us lame-ass nerds here. Anyways, that's the end of the video. These are hosted out of Dark's Colosseum, which is the name of the lobby, as well as my Discord. That's where we hang out. That's where we talk. That's where we're in team chat, and that's how we all have gotten to know each other and figure out each other's playstyle. And together learned more about the game. We all teach each other how to be better at the game. And that's a super huge deal. At least it is to me and a lot of the people in there. Players all skill levels are welcome. I'd like to see you there, but I'd be just as happy to see you in the battle space.